In today's video, we're going to walk through one of my latest projects as a garden designer using Lumion Pro 12 and SketchUp Pro. My name is Katerina, I'm a garden designer, and I'll see you next. So welcome to another video from Garden Design Tools, and today is a little bit different. This video, I'm just going to walk through with you through the process of creating this garden design job I had. One of my latest projects actually, so it's just so over the top that I had so much fun doing it. So this is just the bare bones in Lumion. So this is basically what I've imported in SketchUp. If you don't know how it works between SketchUp, in this case you could use Revit, for example, or any other modeling software, but this is basically what I've done in SketchUp. So all the modeling, the actual modeling of the project is done in SketchUp first, not really considering materials, just scale, measurements, real world materials, etc. you're going to apply after in Lumion. But in here you have fun with playing with the existing architecture. As you can see, I've just added mostly in colors. What I really pay attention to is of course the measurements, that they are correct, but as well as using furniture and all the accessories that exist in real world. Okay, so as you can see here, this is all existing real world brand furniture. So from Dedon, from Ketal, Paola Lenti, all this, and you can find in their website or in the 3D warehouse if you want to check it out. I actually have done a video about sourcing furniture in 3D models. So if you want to check that out, I will add in the description of this video as well. But as you can see, this is quite an over-the-top project with a swimming pool with 2 water features and all this jazz stuff that you normally see in a place like Dubai or something like this. So I had a lot of fun doing this in 3D, and I'm gonna go and show you. Okay, so let me just take this out. So I'm gonna have to be very careful. This is really heavy and I don't even have any vegetation. So one thing to consider when you're playing around with Lumion, and this is something that's not really talked about, because normally the videos you see talking about Lumion or any other program, they are normally really regarding the architecture. If I only had the architecture in place, and it was an amazing building, etc., it would be much lighter than having a garden with loads and loads of plants. Okay, each model of each plant is very high polygon normally model, which means that each plant is quite heavy on your project. So if every time that you pass the 2 gigabytes in Lumion, even in more or less a good computer, good PC, it gets the program starts getting really slow. Okay, so this is 3 giga, and when I start moving around with all the plants in place, it's really difficult. Okay, so what I do is I actually divide them in layers. So I have one layer for the background vegetation, for example, as you can see here. Okay, means trees out, that's what I said, outside. The lights, I have vegetation in, I have people, because I always like to put some people for scaling, for some renderings, and I actually added another layer of vegetation because I had so many vegetation in one layer that I actually had to add another layer. Okay, so this video is going to be quick. I'm just going to show you after, in the end of the video, some of the final renderings. Okay, but I wanted to share with you all the things that you can actually do in terms of using Lumion Pro 12. In Lumion Pro 12, you can really add realistic materials and realistic planting to your project. Okay, and especially when you add things with light, etc., you can really start bringing the ambience of the whole garden that you're trying to create to life. Okay, so I'm just going to add the vegetation in here. I'm going to be static because this is going to be a mess to walk around, but I'll put the final renderings in the end of the video. But I really had a lot of fun doing this. Okay, so you can see all the shadows, the realistic materials. You can even age a little bit the materials, which, you know, they make it really realistic, and curve the edges a little bit. So there is no straight corners in the real world. So, you know, just curving a little bit the edges of the architecture, for example, is really, really important. As you can see, Lumion has a lot of amazing stuff. But again, if you don't divide things in layers like I've done here, that I'm gonna need to take it off if I want to show you other areas of this project, it's gonna be impossible to, with all this vegetation that I have here in place, it's gonna be impossible to walk around, okay? So what I do, I actually, even the shots of the renderings, I first do the shots without any layers on, just the basic architecture, just the basic model from that I've imported from SketchUp, okay? Then I add all the layers, then I render the images. So if you want, to give you a time frame in terms of how long it takes to do the renderings, for this specific project, 10 images, so the set of 10 images that you can do it at once in Lumion, it takes me about an hour, okay? Something that normally for any other project, it takes you, you know, 5 minutes maybe, okay? So this is what you have to have in mind. If you need, as for example, if you're just working with the architecture, if you're an architect, you really need a good computer to work with Lumion. Okay, but if you're a landscape architect or a garden designer, you need it 10 times better because of the amount of vegetation and the amount of details that you have in planting material. And if you, like me, you really use a lot of planting of imported, for example, from X3 or globe plants, this is going to be really, really heavy. Okay, so what you can do here is do the planting by layers. Okay, but still in the final rendering is going to take you a lot of time. It's lighter on your project if you use plants from the Lumion library, but I find that I love plants from X3, and some plants I really can't live without, to be honest. So, you know, you have to see for yourself what kind of computer. I need to even improve this one, to be honest with you. But yeah, so you have quite a lot of things going on in this project. But Lumion, I still can't, for a garden designer like myself, Lumion is the best thing, to be honest, my personal opinion. Because all the other programs and all the other, for example, I love Twinmotion, but I think Twinmotion is very architect oriented. Okay, so you can already create some amazing things in terms of architecture, but not so much for garden designers or landscape architects, in my opinion. Not yet, anyway. I think we'll probably, you know, changes are coming. So I'm gonna add the final renderings. I just want to show you, so I don't have to move from the place. I'm gonna add the planting, so you have a real sense of the amount of planting I have. Way too much, okay? Way too much. This is completely off the top. But I'm gonna add the planting first, okay? So as you can see, counting with the background vegetation, this is a lot of things going on. And especially considering that maybe a third or more are imported plants, okay? So they're the ones that they really make the project really, really heavy. Not so much the ones from the default Lumion library. So I'm gonna add some images in the end of this video. I hope you enjoy it. This is just a little different video. I'm gonna do coming soon a video about how much you really need to invest if you're a garden designer or a landscape architect. How much does it cost to run Lumion, to have it and to run it? What type of machine, what type of investment you're looking for, okay? So yeah, check it out and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you guys soon in the next one. So as you can see, together with the background vegetation is quite a lot of things going on, okay? And at least a third of the vegetation you see are imported from sites like Max3 or Glow Plants that I've purchased them, or even from the 3D warehouse, but the really high detail, really heavy ones are really from Max3 or Glow Plants. So yeah, you know, that's the ones that make the workflow so much difficult, but as well as they create amazing renderings, okay? And you know, sometimes you're seeing a lot now of Lumion renderings, and you know, you always have the same plants, you always have the same lavendulas, the same grasses, ornamental grasses, you know, and you start getting a little bit bored, okay? So I think importing plants is really cool. Anyway, coming soon, there's going to be a video about how much you will need to invest if you want to run Lumion. Not just the software, but as well as the machine, okay? As well as your PC in this case. So like I said, if you think an architect needs X machine to run, okay, you need a much better one. If you're gardens, I know a landscape architect, especially if you want to do a lot of planting like I do. Okay, see you guys in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.